Hi there, I'm Mary Brosnan and I'm chair of the Medavie 5K Championship for 2021 and 2022. And I'd like to welcome you to our results presentation here. With me are Mark Lalonde, Vice Chair and President of Athletics New Brunswick, and Stephen Anderson, our Race Director Extraordinaire. Thank you all for taking part in our event, and we hope you had fun doing so. I'll hand over now to Mark to talk about our sponsors.
Perhaps a few words before Mary, we'll talk about Silvio Burka, a good friend of all of us. Silvio, as you may recall, was in fact helping us with this event with the medals, but more than that, he was certainly one of the kindest heart and most generous, and involved had a tragic incident and passed drowning, and so at 62, very young, much too young to leave us. Very sad. The whole running community and arm wrestling, I should say. Silvio was a world gold medalist in arm wrestling in his age group. So a big heart, a big loss for community. So from us, we want to keep his memory, and I know for some of you, you don't know who Silvio was, but certainly memory. So this race, this event, we dedicate to Silvio. Thanks, man. And now over to our sponsors. Obviously, this event, the support of Medavie was key. They are the main sponsors for both the 2021 edition, virtual, and the 2022 live. We'll get to that. So Medavie's enormous support is what's made this possible. And so we are certainly indebted to them. We thank them, and perhaps, Stephen, we have a few quotes you may read from them as we go through the presentation that they wish to acknowledge. So thank you, Medavie. The lead sponsors for the races. Alors, pour les courses qu'on a eues, on a eu les courses élites. Donc, la Banque nationale représentait les hommes, et Alex and Lily's shoes and swimwear were sponsors for the women's elite race. Banque Nationale, of course, comes without, everybody knows, one of our top 6 banks across Canada, and certainly our banks are extraordinary head office in Montreal. So we are certainly indebted to them for their support of these races, and the men's race elite in particular. Alex and Louise have been and will be fantastic supporters in being able to provide prizes and footwear prizes to all of the team winners and other apparels. They are certainly in New Brunswick the shoe and sportswear supporters and great supporters of the sport. Alex being a runner, Lily being in the sport as well. So we are certainly indebted to them, and for all of their not just financial, but also their work support they'll be providing throughout these championships. Alors, merci à la Banque nationale, merci à Lily Shoes and Footwear, bien sûr, Medavie encore comme notre grand commanditaire. Nous avons aussi d'autres commanditaires. We have other sponsors that were part of this. Sports Yankee, Ryan Jacobson, the founder and the owner, and provides Yankees for all to have, and that'll be part of the prizes. So thank you, Ryan. La Place is a place. André Savoie, merci pour ton support. This is a community of offices, and André Savoie, a big supporter of the sport. Uni Coopération Financière, aussi un grand supporter de tout ce qui est dans le sport au Nouveau-Brunswick, et une des plus grandes sociétés financières, bien sûr, avec des grandes sources acadiennes, mais bien sûr qui prend son ampleur non seulement ici au Nouveau-Brunswick, mais à l'échelle canadienne. Je devrais dire, entre autres, le commanditaire principal de Geneviève Lalonde, notre championne ici du Nouveau-Brunswick. So, Uni was the main sponsor of Geneviève Lalonde, who's, as we know, has gone on to a couple of Olympic finals in the steeplechase. Athletics Canada, of course, not only for giving us this opportunity to host the 5K National Championship this year and next year, but also giving us additional support in prizes and medals for the winners, as well as apparel, some of which we've already awarded, and more to come. We'll see. So, merci Athletics Canada. Doyle Corporate Image, a company that is the go-to, and we certainly hope to use them next year when we host the championships, and we want to make sure that everything's embroidered with our logo, the championship logo. So merci Doyle Corporate Image for its support, and Benchmark Investment Consulting. That's me and my partner and I, and so we're happy to support it in the same way on behalf of us. So thank you to all of those sponsors for the additional support that allows us to give back to you, whether it's some prize money or whether it's a lot of gifts. We hope you will appreciate what we're able to offer. So merci.
Okay, so we'd like to thank, hope you join us next year in Moncton for our in-person event, which will be a running festival weekend with fun, and will have time to see Moncton and the surrounding area. The running festival, on the Saturday, we will have a half marathon and full marathon. And then on the Sunday, it will be the Medavie Canadian 5K Road Championships.
Well, perhaps to just give you a little oversight, and once I'm done, I'm just giving him a heads up. Stephen, I would be appreciate if you'd have the quotes we received from Medavie and from Athletics Canada to read to our listeners. This is the course. I know it looks a little sketchy, but essentially in blue is the Assumption Boulevard that will be closed off on the Sunday morning. That's the 5K. But on a Saturday afternoon, the Greater Moncton Running Club will be hosting a half or full marathon. So if that's what you enjoy, you come and join us for those meets, and you can the bills will be run right along the Petit Kodiak trail, which goes along the side of its beautiful scenery, and we'll talk about the Petit Kodiak River. But on the Sunday morning, it's 5K time, starts at 9 o'clock, and we'll have the two categories for the Open, which will be different masters categories, of course, and which will be part of the CMA National 5K Championships. And we'll even have a 1K race for the kids, get all the kids out in the community to run a 5K on this course. And then by the time we get to 11 o'clock, we're rolling now into the elites women's and men's, and what a great race and what a great time will be. We hope we'll be able to the opportunities to have thousands of Monctonian being out. Of course, COVID today would be a restriction. We hope a year from now that is in the past, and we can have something that brings a lot of runners from across the country to Moncton. A little bit about Moncton, what's to be seen, and I know it's just a quick snapshot. Stephen, if you want to change view of the Medavie Blue Cross building with the light and their head office, and we'd be right behind there. The hotel is just on the right. It'll be the Mead Hotel, the Delta Marriott. So everything is going to be within literally 400 yards at the most, from start line to your Mead Hotel to the Medavie Blue Cross building, and its atrium will be where the medal ceremonies will be, and all the bars and restaurants downtown, all compact. So you won't have to drive anywhere. It's all going to be there for you. Of course, we see the river in the background. So we move on to the next slide. Again, from the other side, this is the view of the Petit Kodiak River. You won't not necessarily want to swim in it, but it is a river that's being brought back to life. It was closed off for many years improperly. Now it's been reopened. And so we're getting quite a tide effect that's growing all the time. You will get to see that. Moving on to the next one. And there's the backside. This is probably where you'll be at the start line. You're now standing, the view is from the Assumption Boulevard, and you'll be going off to the left of that picture and running to the Gunningsville Ridge and back, and then one loop and then back to the finish right here. So that will be, hopefully the weather will be just like you see here, beautiful sunshine. Alors on espère qu'il y aura un beau ciel bleu derrière la croix bleue après le départ, et ceci serait aussi en même temps l'arrivée. Stephen? This is just to show you that the tidal bore, this is a wave that comes in, an effect of the Fundy tides, biggest in the world. This is what you will see. There may be a surfer or two on it. Who knows? There have been surfers who surf all the way up right to the finish. So, anyways, that's the tidal bore comes in and literally fills up the Chocolate River, as we call it here. So it will be something not to be missed, and it'll be right beside where you'll be running. Next slide, please, Stephen. And other feature attractions, people say, okay, I'm coming to Moncton, what else can I do? Well, the Fundy National Park is certainly really a beautiful place. Lots of camping facilities there, and sites that are incomparable, as is Hopewell Rocks, which is on the way to Fundy National Park. A few other treasures along the way we will share with you when you get here. Shediac Bay is always lots of fun. If you like jumping in the seawater, well, the temperature at that time probably still be about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So very bearable. There's a beautiful wharf that you can jump right into the bay and then turn around and walk over and have some seafood lunch or something. Really nice occasion. Village Acadien, essentially, how did the Acadians live back? A bit folklorific. Alors, les villages acadiens seront là pour vous accueillir. Fort Beauséjour is just down the road. And if you want to travel a little bit further away, well, PEI, just across the Big Sink, is just 1 hour away at most, as is Nova Scotia. It would be less than that. So many of the features, attractions, you can expand your trip. I don't work for New Brunswick Tourism or Moncton Tourism, but I think it'll be a great opportunity for everyone. Alors, tout le monde est bienvenu lors de cet événement. Stephen? So what you've all been waiting for, results? Here we go. Maybe we'll start with Stephen, just prize money and all that, and then over to Mary.
Yes, hi, everybody. Well, thank you, everybody, for running. First, I'd like to read a quote from Bernard Lord, who is the Medavie CEO. He says, "At Medavie, our mission is to improve the well-being of Canadians. Through investments in programs and innovative solutions, we help people live well and enable easier access to quality healthcare. That's why we are proud to partner with the organizers of the Medavie Canadian 5K Championships to encourage healthy, active lifestyles in our communities." So again, we'd like to thank Medavie for all of their support for this event. And it made it possible to A, bring you the event, but B, also bring you the amount of prize money and the number of prizes across all of our races. So as you may know, our elite prize purse was over $12,000. And we were able to provide over $3,500 in material prizing for the people participating in the team relay challenge. So, Mary, I'll let you do the team results.
Okay.
Do you have a quote from Athletics Canada? We'll keep that for a little bit later, Steve.
We'll hold that quote for the elite race.
Thank you.
I feel we should have a drum roll before we start, but never mind. In the women's team relay challenge, in first place was UVic 2, Delaney Chan, Erin Owens, Sophie Orling, and Alyssa, whose name I can't just read because it's fucked out.
TriLink.
In second place, UVic 1. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Hilary Stellingworth, the UVic coach, for organising 2 teams to take part in our event. Thank you for your support. And in third place, the Rockwood Road Warriors Female 1 team. Thank you.
So I would note that we have quite a competitive times on the women's side here. UVic 1 and 2 were separated by only about 30 seconds in cumulative time. The fastest runner was on UVic 1, who ran 18 minutes and 52 seconds. The Rockwood Road Warriors, who came in third, were a further 5 minutes back, which over the course of 4 runners is fairly close. Each of these teams will get a prize pack of sorts. And from our sponsors, which are noted, their logos are on the bottom of the presentation there. So the winning team will receive hats and shoes. Hats courtesy of Athletics Canada, and shoes courtesy of Alex and Lily's shoes and swimwear. The second place team will receive some socks, some Yankee gear from a local New Brunswick company, and some Athletics Canada string spike bags. And the third team will receive Athletics Canada bags, as well as some more socks from Alex and Lily's. So these prizes go across all 3 of the team relay categories.
And the medals, of course. Participation medals. Yeah. Which we'll post a picture of. We have a picture, so we'll post those on the website a little bit later. Yep, thank you.
In the men's team relay challenge, in first place was UNB CC and TF, and they were coached by Chris Beloff. Thank you very much for organising your team to take part in our event. And second place, Where is the Fire, which was Dean Strobridge's team. And in third place, Backroads, Brews and Shoes from Ontario. And Dean's team is from St. John in New Brunswick.
A couple of notes surrounding times on these ones. These were our top 3 teams overall, as well as just in the men's category. We had 5 runners run under 17 minutes in the team relay challenge. Will Boyle and Jared Howes ran 16:24, and Evan Arsenault ran 16:15. So the first 2 teams were separated by about a minute and a half. And the first 3 teams were separated by exactly 3 minutes. So it was very tight competition on the men's side. And we'd like to thank everybody for participating.
And excellent times as well. Excellent.
Maybe a little note, Dean Strobridge, who also hosted a 5K race in his hometown. And I think that was helpful for many of the runners to actually complete their 5K in a legal certified course. So thank you, Dean, for that as well. Yeah.
Okay, the Team Relay Challenge mixed top 3. In first place, the Ottawa Unicorns, and they ran a really good time. In second place, Mans on the Run, who ended up being 32 minutes behind the first place team, which just shows how fast the first place were. And in third place, the K team, which is the Kelly family. I'd just like to make a note of the Kelly family in that Frank is in his 80s now, and they did really well. And if you want to give times to you, Stephen, at this point before I...
Yep. So the winning team, whose lead runner ran 17:51, ran an hour and 21 for their 20K, whereas my team, the Mans on the Run, ran an hour 53. And the Kelly team was 2 hours and 3 minutes. So there was quite a spread in that division.
Yeah. And I'd just like to mention that in last place in that category was the Lalondes. And I'm going to pass out over now to Mark to take over.
The walking Lalondes. And we're in heavy training because we aim to participate next year, but improve on our 3.5 hours. So we're in training, and look out for us, Mary. I know you were in the race as well in the next team.
And we're thankful that you took so long to do it so that we didn't finish last.
all this to say, you know, this was meant to be both competitive and fun. And I know we had fun doing it. walks. Sorry, we don't run as much. We have an offspring that does run, and we leave that to her. But anyways, it's a lot of fun, and also, and we want to acknowledge also two of the teams that were in this competition are from Medavie, the Medavie employees who joined in and did walk a 5K legal course, which we helped plug for them. And so we want to thank them for it. In fact, we'll have some gifts for them that we'll send. It'll be gift certificates with La Savonnerie Olivier. So each one of you will be receiving that. We thank you for taking part, but we look forward to next year with this event being right in your back door, right in the head office back door, to have many Medavie teams participate. So we look forward to being able to do that in your company. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for that. All right, Stephen. Now we got serious. Well, we get serious. This was serious, but perhaps a little more serious. Go, the elites. Go ahead.
Before we do that, I just remind that everyone will receive a participation medal based on the logo that you can see behind me. And those will be mailed out in due course. We're just waiting for the medal producer to send them our way. So we look forward to that in your mailbox soon. So we're moving over to the elite race, and we had a very, very competitive elite race. So we're going to start with the women's. I should preface this by saying that there were a number of more stringent rules for the elites. They had to run on an out and back course. They had to submit some video. Some of them did Instagram lives, so you can go to their Instagram profiles and find that. We've also shared them on our page, so you can go to @Moncton 5K or @Moncton 5K Championships on Instagram and look at those videos in those times. So on the women's side, our winner was Leslie Sexton. She recently moved to Vancouver, and she ran a time of 15:37. Leslie is not a surprise in this area. She's the former Canadian marathon champion back in 2018. Our second place finisher was Olympian Julianne Stalley. She ran in the 5K in Tokyo Olympics, the 5K in the Tokyo Olympics, and she's run under 15 minutes this year. Now, coming off the Olympics, it's difficult to replicate that, especially since she was training for the Fifth Avenue Mile, but she ran 15:49 for 5K. In third place was Brianna Scott, who trains also in British Columbia, and she ran 15:59. So right under 16 minutes for her. Because we gave prizes down to 7th place, I've listed the top 7 on our slide. So next is Newfoundlander Kate Baisley, who ran 16:18 for 5K on a hilly course in St. John's. So a very good run. And then next, steeplechaser and Olympic debut in Tokyo was Alicia Butterworth, who ran 16:22. Again, an impressive time coming off a career high that is the Olympics. 6th is my friend and McMaster runner, Erin Mohini. Her and I competed in the same conference in high school. And so great to see her continue to improve and run a great time despite awful weather. And her video is up on our Instagram page. And finally, Kate Ayres, the former Ontario cross-country champion, now living and training in Victoria. She ran 17 minutes flat to finish in 7th place. So congratulations to all the women who competed and those who finished in the top 7. We appreciate you running with us. We had a great response. We had 3 Olympians and 7 to 10 national champions run in the women's race. Some of them, unfortunately, couldn't end up competing due to injury or due to scheduling conflicts. But we appreciate everyone's enthusiasm and hope to see them all in Moncton next year. I should note that Alex and Lily Shushat, their commitment to providing prizes on the team relay side really allowed us to provide this deep prize purse to of course, in addition to Medavie's support. And so we thank them for that. And now for the men's race, I just spoiled 7 and down. For the men's race, National Bank was stepped in late on again and provided us some additional funds in addition to the generous Medavie contribution. So we were able to, again, deepen the prize pool for the men down to 7. And this provides elite athletes in Canada who are looking to qualify for Paris in 2024 or Eugene World Championships next year, provide them that maybe extra funding to achieve their goals. So maybe they don't have to work as many hours in a part-time job, or they can purchase additional equipment or spend more money on coaching and travel. And so we're happy we can provide them with this prize money. So thank you to National Bank and Medavie again. Our first place male, as you see on the screen there, is Olympian Luc Burchette, again, out of British Columbia. I'm sensing a theme here. And he has ran in his second Olympics in Tokyo. And he's the 3rd fastest Canadian over 5,000 meters of all time. He ran 15:37. Nope, he did not run 15:37. He ran 13:49. I was looking at the women's time. He ran 13:49 for 5K. So not very far off, only 30 seconds off his personal best, coming off the Olympics and some downtime. So a very good run by Luke. His teammate Justin Kent ran 14:13. He's also based out of British Columbia and made his debut marathon last year. He's also he was 3rd in the Canadian 5K or the track 5K championship. So he's taking a step up in our event here, finishing 2nd. Olympian Charles Philbert Thibodeau, or CPT as he's most commonly known to us Anglophones, is finished in 3rd. And again, he ran 14:17, and like Julianne, was in training for the 5th Avenue Mile and tapering for that. So we appreciate him running with us and all his contributions. And he's, of course, based out of Quebec City. So 4th, another Olympian, John Gay, who ran 14:22. And so John, again, made his Olympic debut in Tokyo and actually set his personal best in order to get out of the heat and into the final, which was a very great run. So we were happy to have John run with us again. He live streamed his run on his Instagram. So you can go over to John Gay 96 and check that out. From altitude in Flagstaff, Arizona, while he's training for the Boston Marathon, Rory Linkletter ran 14:28. A very good run by Rory. Again, he also live streamed it. And Rory is, as I said, training for Boston. So look out for him in 2 or 3 weeks in that event. Jeremy Cogler is a chiropractor who runs with the Backroads Bandits in London, Ontario. And he ran a very impressive 14:29. And finally, we end off with Maritimer, Nova Scotian, Mike Tate, who is now training in London, who ran 14:46 and finishes off our elite field. So we're wrapping this up.
As you get as you prepare to read the quote from Chris Winter, 2 things I'd like to say. First of all, to the elites, thank you. Thank you for participating, but also thank you for accepting in the invitation or ask, if you wish, to promote the event, to talk about the event, which you did, and marvelously so. This was well talked about, well followed, and we owe that to you. So thank you for doing that, and perhaps if you're so kind, continue doing so as we lead to next year, because we'd love to have so many of you here and host you in the maritime way, and that doesn't mean lobster. Hopefully the price of lobster is going to come down from where it is now, but anyway, we'll see. No, we look forward to having you and hosting you in a way perhaps you don't get hosted as often. So please put us on the map if that's possible. And if you're not in Diamond League somewhere around the world at that time, then think of coming to Moncton and running the 5K Road Championship. I would be remiss not to also thank Stephen Anderson, who is at Athletics New Brunswick's quote-unquote summer student. He's also a law student at the University of New Brunswick. He also runs for the University of New Brunswick. And the fabulous work, Stephen, you did for our hosting this championship, your communication with all of them, the use of social medias, your presence here today. and your continuing participation into 2022. So we are indebted to you. We thank you for your work here on behalf of Mary and I. Merci beaucoup, Stephen. That was fabulous. Finally, Mary, volunteer, past president of Run New Brunswick, and now step 2, we prepare for 22. Thank you for your work. The three of us have been tied, I guess, at the hips here weekly, sometimes not daily, as we completed this. A little bit tricky, mind you. It's probably the one and only virtual now Canadian 5K road championship we'll ever have, hopefully.
Yeah,
but certainly a unique experience. Mary, one more word before we pass it
well,
over.
I'm really looking forward to the three of us going forward and making next year's event in Moncton in September 2022 an amazing event. And I too would like to thank everybody for taking part in this year's virtual event. It was fun. I enjoyed it, even though when my team walked, it poured with rain the whole 5K. But never mind. It was still fun. And
Nice.
yeah, I'd like to thank Mark, who has just been brilliant. He's a great man to work with, and I'm very fortunate that he's our vice chair and president of AMB, and that he asked me to be chair. Thank you, Mark. Thank you to Stephen, who I didn't know before this event started, and I've thoroughly enjoyed working with you. And let's move on and make it such an amazing event next year. And I hope that all those that took part this year will take part next year, and so we'll get to meet you all in person, and that you will spread the word and bring loads of other people with you to run in our event. It will be fun, I can tell you that.
Stephen, why don't we leave the last word to Chris Winter and his quote to us, and we'll leave everyone after that till next time. Go ahead.
So, from Chris Winter, former Olympian and now the director at Athletics Canada, he says, "We want to both congratulate all the athletes and thank the local organizing committee, Athletics New Brunswick, Medavie, and the event sponsors for their work during these national championships, during what has been a difficult time for sport. The Medavie Canadian 5K Championships provided an opportunity for many of our elite athletes to engage in meaningful competition during a time where these events are still struggling to get the green light from health authorities and governments. The athletes embraced the virtual format and appreciated the prize money, which will help them begin their journey to the 2024 Paris Olympics in just 3 years' time. Athletics Canada looks forward to the 2022 Canadian 5K Championships, which are set to take place in the great city of Moncton, New Brunswick." So thank you, Chris, and thank you for everyone for joining us and watching this video. If you have any questions about the event or moving forward, please email us at moncton5k@gmail.com or look for us on social media, Canadian 5K Championships, and you'll find us.